I shared my Ring doorbell with my buddy, who asked me if I had ever watched the doorbell messages she had left for me. I had never thought about looking at who had rung my doorbell. I, for some reason, didn't take that feature very seriously. So I flipped through the recorded videos, not expecting to see anything other than my friends as they entered my home, my roommate and I sometimes doing an outfit check on the doorbell, and evidence of how often I use DoorDash. Let me just say first, regarding the man at my door, I was confused as to why he wouldn't just say what he needed to ask me whilst I was in public, outside, and in a more normal place to approach someone, rather than obviously overstep a boundary and make me question whether or not I'm safe when I walk down the street with my dogs, or if I genuinely need to be looking over my shoulder. I have no clue who this man is, or what he could want, or why, but here are the creepy videos in question. I went back and looked at my Ring notification history, just to see right before he rings my doorbell. What came immediately before, and I mean within the minute, was me finishing my walk with one of my dogs. Once I got inside my building, which is a big house that has an unlocked front door during the day, so that's why I didn't lock it behind me. There he comes a minute later, following me inside. I've never seen this man before, and I had no idea anyone ever followed me inside, or tried to get me to come to the door for whatever reason. I definitely believe he is stalking me. Is it weird of me to think that maybe it has something to do with my dogs? That might sound stupid, but they are a really interesting breed. I've heard of people stealing animals. I just don't know what to think of this entire situation. There really isn't much I can do besides let my landlord know, and he'll just tell me to call the police. In which case, I wouldn't even know what to say. I'll just have to show them these recordings. One night, I, 18 male, was at the gym around 10 PM because I worked all day and my gym stays open all night. I was casually working out, as I always did. Out of nowhere, this very short Hispanic guy came up to me and asked me what I'm doing later. Thinking this was very odd, I decided to ignore him and act like I couldn't hear him because of my headphones. He kept asking me, but eventually left. When I finished my workout, I entered the locker room to get my keys and check myself out in the mirror. As I entered the locker room, the guy was sitting on the bench, staring at me, watching my every move. So I skipped looking at myself in the mirror, grabbed my keys, and went into the bathroom quickly. I could see he was starting to follow me as I headed to the urinal, so I quickly darted for a stool. When I left the stool, he was still staring at me, but from the urinal. I ignored him and started leaving the gym, but he still followed me. Once again, he asked me what I was doing tonight and what my name was, but this time, I couldn't pretend to not hear him, so I just said, "Sorry man, I'm not interested." Quickly got in my car and drove away. A week later, I was working again today, so I was at the gym around 10 PM, and everything was normal. Whilst working out, I saw some friends, and then I saw the same guy from a week ago, staring at me whilst lying against an empty wall. I tried to ignore him, but every machine or workout I did, he would follow me. I stayed with some friends so he would hopefully not come near me. When those friends left, so did he, so I thought I was safe. I got my stuff together and headed out around 11:30. At this point, my phone had died. I was a little worried, but then I started to freak out, because when I approached my car, there was a rose in the driver's side handle of my truck. I actually started to run and went back into the gym to get assistance from someone working there, because I didn't feel like dying that day. After removing it, I sped home as fast as I could. A few days later, I had a normal workout and didn't see him until I went to my truck. He was parked right next to me, standing in front of his car. While I got in, I could see him watching me the entire time. Now, every time I go late at night, he's waiting for me and asking me weird questions. I talked to the employees at the gym about this, and they said he's not from here and he's just trying to be nice. but I can't help but wonder why he doesn't get the hint when I tell him no all the time. I wake up hours early in the morning to go to the gym now, but when I go late, he's still there watching me, every time. Another time, there was a rose on my windshield and a phone wire wrapped around my handle, picture included. More recently, he added me on Snapchat. I don't know how he knows my name or how he knew what car was mine in the first place.
Before I continue with the final story, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to see future content from me, as well as help me in the algorithm. Thank you.
I've never posted to this subreddit before, but after working with authorities, I feel safe enough to share my story. For context, I, female 20, started an OnlyFans account over the summer to support myself through school. Things were great until I posted my Amazon wishlist. Amazon doesn't release your address to people who gift you items, but third-party sellers can, and that's where I went wrong. In late July, I got a puppy. One night around 2 AM, I took him outside to go to the bathroom. Whilst he was doing his business, I noticed a car parked outside my family home. I saw a figure in the car and could tell they were looking at me, but I couldn't make out their face because it was pitch black outside. Feeling a bit uneasy, I picked up my puppy to take him back inside, and when I started to move, the car moved and parked in my driveway. I sprinted back inside and locked the door, but they never approached my house. The next morning, I went to check the mail. There was an envelope addressed to my OnlyFans name with $20 in it, but no note. I was currently still at home with my parents, who had no idea about my OnlyFans account, so I didn't mention it to them. A week later, I moved back to my college town to get ready to start school. At this time, I had stopped posting until I could figure out how they got my address. I've watched enough crime shows to know there's a possibility I could be in danger. I live in a duplex with a gated parking lot, for reference. One morning, I was about to vlog my trip to Target, because I was planning on starting a YouTube channel in the near future, since OnlyFans felt unsafe. When I got to my car, it had been ransacked, and my vlogging camera was missing. I know, it's my fault for leaving it in my car, but I was using it the night before, and since I lived in a gated area, I didn't think it would be unsafe. It wasn't in plain sight either. I had hidden it in my glove box. I used that camera to film my content, and the SD card that was in there had all of my unreleased photos and videos. I know they stole it just for the SD card. This is where the story gets weird. There are cameras outside in the parking lot, so we were able to watch this person break into my car and find the camera, and it didn't touch any of the 7 other cars in the lot. They knew which car was mine, which suggested they had been watching me for a while. After they got the camera, they walked around the duplex until stopping near my window. My bedroom faces an outside street, and my blinds are broken, so it's very easy to see in. I have a curtain, but it doesn't cover my window all the way. This person watched me sleep for an hour or so. I have no idea why they didn't try to break in, but thank God they didn't. This person then sold the camera to a pawn shop, and since I knew the serial number, the police were able to find it. However, my SD card was missing. I believe the police are still trying to track them down, but I have broken my lease and moved to a new place, so hopefully that will keep me safe. That's all the stories I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and help this channel reach 1,000 subscribers, as we are so close. And also consider watching some of my previous content. Thank you.